Welcome, brothers. I get lots of comments, as I'm sure you do too, from women admitting that gender relations in the black community at present can best be described as hostile. They admit there is a problem, but I wonder if any of you have noticed another pattern in the responses women give. It usually goes something like this. A lot of what you men are saying is true, but you place all the blame on black women. And it's not just black women causing these problems. Blaming one side won't solve anything. Well, several questions immediately spring to mind whenever I hear that script. They go as follows. 1. Why is it that when men are being blamed, I never hear any black women anywhere saying it's not just black men causing the problems? 2. If black women are now ready to acknowledge their part in causing the problems, why only now? 3. Since black women now acknowledge that blaming one side won't solve the problem, then how come this insight never came to them before? For example, when Barack Obama insulted every black father in America and basically blamed them for fatherlessness, I don't remember hearing a single black woman coming out and saying it's not just black men who cause the problems. 4. If blaming one side won't solve the problem, then why is it that none of these women ever propose any solutions that might solve the problem? Why is it that their interest in what we're saying never goes beyond the point of reminding us that it's not just black women who cause the problems in the black community? Now, these are all rhetorical questions, of course, because you and I both know none of them will be answered, and which is why I delete most of the comments from women, because the simple truth is they bore the fuck out of me. Not one of them stands out as having even a borrowed capacity for independent and original thinking. I mean, with all their degrees, corporate jobs, higher salaries than everyone else in the whole world, all the white friends they party with, all that time spent under blow dryers at the beauty shop, and all that you go girl power, they're completely stumped when it comes to putting forward some ideas on how we can get to grips with the problems. All they know is it wasn't just them that done it. Which tells us what about the mentality of these women? It tells us that the only thing they're concerned about is to exonerate themselves from any blame, or to make sure that if they're going down, everyone else is going down with them. Well, okay, but understand this. If that's all you've got to contribute, your contribution is useless to me, which is why I will delete it. Understand this also. I will continue to attack women for any wrongdoing they perpetrate in our communities, without referencing the conduct of black men. Because black men like me are the only ones demanding accountability from black women. Now, let me give you an example of how accountability works. If two people commit murder, both perpetrators are tried for the role they each played in the murder. Most often they are tried separately, not together. Get it? Separately. In any case, each has to answer for their own conduct. Furthermore, when the judge is passing sentence, he doesn't divide one life sentence between the two defendants. Each of them gets life. Now, in this context, i.e. on this channel, I am counsel for the prosecution in the case of black woman versus the black community. You see, the case of black man versus the black community never came to trial, because black man was lynched 40 years ago by a black woman and white supremacy, acting this time in the guise of feminism. But the evidence has been mounting over the last 40 years that black man was innocent and was in fact the victim of a social and gender railroading of such magnitude that the fallout from it reverberates 40 years on. All of which means that we now have more than enough evidence to try the real perpetrators of crimes against the black community. Perpetrators who up till now have been protected by a conspiracy to bury the truth about their role in crimes against the black community. Those perps are feminism and its sidekick, black woman. I'm dealing with black women first, and then I'm bringing it direct to feminism next. So understand this. I'm not interested in how black men supposedly fuck up. I'm not interested in so-called thugs or so-called irresponsible black men, or myths of black men abandoning their families. That shit will not wash here. If you bring it up here, you will be deleted. I don't give a fuck who you are or how friendly we might have been up till today. So don't do it. The only women that would be allowed to post on this channel are those who accept unconditional responsibility for wrongdoing on the part of women, and whom bring an honest desire to reconcile rather than spread blame. Later.